Some car accessories can get you fined, your car impounded, or even your insurance voided. The crazy part? Most drivers don't even know they're illegal. From lights that attract cops instantly to gadgets banned nationwide, these are the accessories you should never risk putting on your car. Today, we'll reveal 10 illegal car accessories that could cost you thousands. And number 10 is so common, police are trained to spot it on sight. Without wasting any more time, let's dive in. Accessory number 15, tinted windows. Let's start with something that seems harmless, but can land you in serious trouble. A very dark window tint can make it harder to see when driving at night. Every state has different tint laws, and police officers in some states carry a special tool for measuring how much light passes through the windows to see whether owners are breaking the law. Illinois tint laws prohibit side and front window tint, except when the driver has some kind of medical condition, which requires tinted windows. But here's what's crazy. It seems to be selectively enforced, as a 5% limo tint is ignored by Leos in some areas, but get a fix-it ticket in the town next door. The safety argument is real though. Contrary to popular belief, tinting isn't illegal because it makes it difficult for the police to see inside your car during traffic stops. The primary reason is that it makes it difficult for you to see out. Some states require 70% light transmission on front windows, while others allow as low as 35%. The tint meter cops use can actually be fooled by cheap aftermarket films that change opacity based on angle. Some drivers think they're being clever, but modern enforcement has caught on to these tricks. What makes this worse is that tint shops often don't warn customers about crossing state lines. Your legal California tint becomes illegal the moment you drive into Nevada. But if tint laws seem confusing, wait until you hear what's illegal about something every car needs. Accessory number 14, mufflers. Here's one that blows people's minds. Aftermarket mufflers can be completely illegal, even if they're not loud. All states in the US have either banned or set rules in place to mitigate the use of obnoxiously loud exhaust systems. But it's not just about noise. In California, every motor vehicle must be equipped with an adequate muffler in constant operation. And no muffler or exhaust system shall be equipped with a cutout bypass or similar device. Simply equipping certain types of mufflers is enough to land you in trouble. Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, Montana, Michigan, Tennessee, Pennsylvania, Maine, and Connecticut use an objective method to determine whether the exhaust noise is too loud, while the others simply leave it up to the officer to declare it makes excessive and unusual noise. Here's the kicker. Even straight-through mufflers that meet noise requirements can be illegal if they don't meet emissions standards. Your sweet-sounding Flowmaster might be breaking federal law without you even knowing it. Many performance shops won't tell you about CARB compliance when installing aftermarket exhaust systems. They get their money, you get the federal violation notice in the mail months later. The worst part? Some mufflers are legal when installed but become illegal during routine maintenance if shop mechanics don't reinstall them exactly to specification. Speaking of things that seem innocent but aren't. Accessory number 13, license plate accessories. This one shocks people because most license plate covers and other accessories are illegal, even theft protection covers. Even license plate frames are only okay under very strict guidelines. Nothing too thick or with decor that juts out over the license. Any plate frame that covers any part of the numbers, letters, or state name is illegal and can receive a ticket. That dealership frame advertising where you bought your car. If it covers even one character, it's technically illegal. License plate frames are legal in 49 states, not Oklahoma, as long as they don't obscure any numbers, letters, or your registration sticker. But enforcement varies wildly. Some cops don't care. Others will write you up for the tiniest violation. The really sneaky part, those anti-theft license plate covers that claim to prevent stealing. Most of them are illegal because they obstruct the view of the plate from certain angles, which defeats the whole purpose of having a visible license plate. Dealerships hand out illegal frames knowing full well their violations. It's free advertising for them and legal problems for you. The automated license plate readers that police use are getting better at detecting partially obscured plates. What used to be overlooked now triggers automatic citations. But if frames seem petty, wait until you see what people do to their engines. Accessory number 12, engine modifications. Modern cars run conservative to meet emission standards, often leaving 20-50 horsepower on the table. Professional tuning can unlock this power by disabling emissions controls, but reflashing your engine control unit to disable emissions controls is federally illegal. The Clean Air Act doesn't mess around. The California Air Resources Board has become particularly aggressive about prosecuting tuners and shops. We're seeing professional shops shut down and fined hundreds of thousands of dollars. Here's what's crazy. The tune itself might be invisible to casual inspection, but some manufacturers now use tamper-evident ECU seals, while others monitor for non-factory calibration files during warranty service. Your car is basically snitching on itself. Cold air intake systems are also technically illegal in many jurisdictions. The legal issue comes from emissions equipment. Many require recalibrating the mass airflow sensor, which violates federal law even if the overall emissions impact is minimal. The EPA has started sending violation notices directly to car owners, based on VN tracking from tuning shops. They're building databases of modified vehicles for future enforcement. Even CARB-legal parts can become illegal if installed incorrectly or on the wrong model year. The certification is incredibly specific and rarely transfers between vehicle variations. But if you want power without the computer tricks, there's always the classic approach. Accessory number 11, nitrous oxide. Here's the big one that surprises people. There's not a single nitrous manufacturer on Earth that claims it's legal to have a bottle hooked up for use on the street. Every single NOS system is sold for off-road use only, or racing applications only. The legal framework is clear. Nitrous systems are banned for street use in all 50 states when connected and functional. But here's what's sneaky. The systems themselves aren't illegal to own or install. It's only illegal when they're armed and ready to use on public roads. This creates a grey area where show cars can have nitrous systems for display, and track cars can have them for racing. But the moment you hit that button on a public street, you're breaking federal law. Law enforcement training now includes spotting nitrous installations during traffic stops. They look for bottles, lines, solenoids, and especially the telltale button or switch. Some departments even carry equipment to detect nitrous residue. The craziest part. Most people think NOS is just a performance mod like cold air intakes. Nope. It's federally regulated because it's classified as a performance-enhancing substance for vehicles. Insurance companies can void your coverage entirely if they discover an armed nitrous system after an accident. You're not just breaking the law, you're risking financial ruin. Some states treat nitrous possession similarly to drug possession. The bottles themselves can be confiscated as evidence of intent to violate emissions laws. If you made it here, kindly like the video. We did a lot of research and will appreciate it the like. Anyways, make sure to stick till number 1. It is something that could fine you $5,000 without you knowing. Accessory number 10, aftermarket lighting. You would think having a car with extra powerful lights is a good thing on the road, but technically, in several states, any added light on your vehicle could be considered a problem. In a practical sense, most of these laws were designed to ban any lights that could look like the flashing lights of emergency services. LED headlights retrofit into housings that don't properly aim the beam are a menace. Kentucky has become one of the most recent states to pass a law banning the use of colored LED bulbs in headlights, not only because they are distracting to other drivers, but because if they are installed incorrectly, it can be difficult to control the beam. Light bars are particularly problematic. While you may think extra lights improve safety, mounting light bars on your vehicle can be illegal in many states if they're visible from the front and can be mistaken for emergency vehicle lighting. Here's what's really crazy. Some aftermarket LED light strips are so bright they can actually blind oncoming drivers, making them more dangerous than helpful. Many truck owners install light bars for off-road use, but forget they're illegal on public roads. Even with covers, the mounting location can still violate vehicle codes. The RGB lighting trend has made enforcement even trickier. Officers now carry color detection tools to determine if your white LEDs are actually shifting through illegal colors. But if white lights can get you in trouble, wait until you see what happens with colored ones. Accessory number 9, blue headlights. While you may think that you are being a conscientious road user by installing brighter HID bulbs in your headlamps, you could be pulled over for breaking the law. Blue tinted headlights are illegal in most states because they don't provide proper illumination and can be confused with emergency vehicle lighting. The problem isn't just the color, it's the science. Blue light has a shorter wavelength that doesn't penetrate fog, rain, or snow as effectively as white or yellow light. This actually makes them less safe than standard headlights. Kentucky, California, and several other states specifically prohibit any headlight that isn't white or amber. Even those cool blue-tinted bulbs that claim to be xenon look are illegal if they emit blue light instead of white. Law enforcement can spot these from a mile away, literally. That blue glow is like a beacon telling cops you've got illegal modifications. And the fines? They vary by state, but expect to pay several $100s plus the cost of replacing the bulbs. The aftermarket industry deliberately markets these as HID look, or xenon style, to confuse buyers into thinking they're getting legitimate upgrades. They're not. Some departments now use spectral analysis equipment during traffic stops to prove the color temperature violation in court. No more arguing about whether they look blue or not. But if blue lights seem obvious, here's something that's purely cosmetic yet still illegal. Accessory number 8, spoilers. Wait, spoilers can be illegal? Absolutely. Modified spoilers that extend beyond the vehicle's original dimensions can violate state safety regulations. Some states have specific rules about how far aerodynamic modifications can extend beyond the vehicle's body. The real issue comes with homemade or poorly designed spoilers that can become projectiles at highway speeds. California and several other states require that any aerodynamic modification be professionally engineered and properly secured. Here's where it gets weird. Some massive spoilers can actually obstruct the driver's rear view, which violates visibility requirements. If your spoiler blocks your rear window to the point where you can't see following traffic, that's illegal in most states. The performance community knows this, but posers installing huge spoilers on slow cars. They're just asking for tickets. Seriously, a massive spoiler on a Honda Civic just screams, "Please pull me over." Insurance adjusters are trained to spot aftermarket aerodynamic modifications during accident inspections. If your spoiler contributed to the crash, your claim gets denied. The trend of DIY 3D printed spoilers has created a whole new category of safety violations. These plastic parts can shatter and become road hazards at speed. But if spoilers seem silly, wait until you hear about what's under your car. Accessory number 7, studded tires. Studded tires are legal in some states during winter months, but illegal in others year-round. The metal studs provide incredible traction on ice, but they absolutely destroy road surfaces. We're talking millions of dollars in highway damage. California allows studded tires from November 1st through April 30, but only in certain mountain areas. Use them outside those dates or areas. That's a ticket. Other states like Hawaii, Illinois, and Louisiana ban them completely. Here's what's crazy. Even in states where they're legal seasonally, you have to remove them by a specific date. Keep them on too long in spring. You're breaking the law. The fines can be substantial. We're talking $200,500 per violation. The controversy comes from effectiveness versus damage. These things work incredibly well on ice, but they literally grind grooves into asphalt. It's like allowing people to use cleats on basketball courts. Some states now use acoustic monitoring to detect studded tires on highways during banned periods. The distinctive sound pattern triggers automatic enforcement alerts. Tire shops often won't warn customers about seasonal restrictions when selling studded tires. You buy them thinking they're legal, then get ticketed months later. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're learning something new, because this next one glows in the dark. Accessory number 6, Underglow. Those fast and furious style neon lights look sick. But Arizona allows neon lights, but only amber or white lights on the side of the car. Kansas doesn't allow you to use flashing lights. Michigan also has restrictions on neon lights, with red and blue lights banned altogether. The problem isn't the lights themselves, it's the colors and the distraction factor. That extra lighting can be a distraction to yourself and to other drivers. Red and blue are universally banned because they're associated with emergency vehicles. But here's where it gets weird. Some states are totally cool with Underglow, others ban everything, and some have complex rules about when you can use them. It's like the Wild West of automotive lighting laws. Some states, local municipalities, and cities did in fact outlaw Underglow lights and regular neon lights, especially blue and red ones. The reason is a simple one. Governing bodies do not want people to mix up police car lights with lights on cars with neon lights. Modern Underglow systems can be controlled via smartphone apps, which creates new legal problems. Changing colors while driving can be considered distracted driving in some jurisdictions. The LED underglow trend has made enforcement more difficult because officers can't always tell what color the lights are capable of displaying just by looking at them. But if colorful lights can get you in trouble, wait until you see what happens when you mess with police equipment. Accessory number 5, laser jammers. While radar detectors are mostly legal, laser jammers are technically legal to buy in the US, but many states do not allow their use on the road. California, Colorado, Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, Nebraska, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Virginia, and Washington, D.C. ban the use of laser jammers. These $600-ish devices can apparently mess up laser guns used for measuring speeds of highway vehicles. They work by sending signals back to police LiDAR guns, effectively blinding them. Jammers overwhelm the laser beam coming from laser guns, so that the latter registers an inaccurate speed measurement, or, in some cases, no measurement at all. The technology works, which is exactly why law enforcement wants them banned. The difference between detection and jamming is huge legally. Detection is passive, you're just listening. Jamming is active warfare against law enforcement equipment, and that never ends well for the jammer user. Police officers are now trained to recognize jamming behavior. When their LiDAR gun shows error messages or no readings, they know someone's actively interfering. The penalties for jamming often exceed the original speeding fine you were trying to avoid. Some states classify it as obstruction of justice, which carries serious consequences. But active jamming is nothing compared to this passive-aggressive approach. Accessory number 4, GPS jammers. GPS jammers are completely illegal in the United States, with every use potentially earning you a fine of up to $16,000 or even prison time. These little devices plug right into your cigarette lighter and create a dead zone around your car. The New Jersey truck driver who got slapped with a $32,000 fine, his GPS jammer was so powerful it interfered with air traffic control at Newark Airport. Yeah, you read that right. One trucker's attempt to avoid his boss literally messed with airplane safety systems. The crazy part? You can still buy these things online, even though federal law prohibits the operation, marketing, or sale of any type of jamming equipment. But here's the kicker. Using one near an airport isn't just illegal, it's potentially catastrophic. It's crucial to know that blockers may prevent you from making 911 and other emergency calls. These jamming devices also interfere with the transmission of critical data used by many fleet companies. The FCC actively monitors for jamming activity using sophisticated detection equipment. They can triangulate the source of interference and track it back to individual vehicles. Many drivers don't realize these devices can interfere with their own car's systems. Modern vehicles rely on GPS for everything from navigation to theft protection. But wait, because the next one turns your car into a mobile felony. Accessory number 3, police impersonation kit. This is where things get seriously illegal. We're talking about the unholy trinity. Emergency strobe lights, police sirens, and fake badges. Individually, they're sketchy. Together, that's a one-way ticket to felony charges. Running red and blue flashing lights on public roads could result in several citations, including impersonating an authorized emergency vehicle, with penalties including fines of upwards of $500, as well as misdemeanor or even felony charges. The police siren with PA system. That includes a minimum fine of $650. And those NYPD stickers. You could get in a ton of trouble if it's displayed in a way to induce the belief that you are a cop. Think of it this way. You're basically building a discount police car, and the government takes that personally. Seriously, who builds this stuff thinking it won't end badly? Law enforcement takes impersonation extremely seriously because it undermines public trust and can be used to commit serious crimes. The penalties reflect this concern. Even security companies and volunteer firefighters need special permits to use emergency lighting. Having this equipment without authorization is a federal crime in many jurisdictions. Speaking of things that seem innocent but aren't. Accessory number 2, license plate flipper. Hidden flip car license plate systems might look cool, but they facilitate something very illegal, defrauding the DMV, which is a Class A felony. We're talking about $10,000 in fines and 3 years in jail. The device itself exists in a legal gray area. It's basically a motorized frame. But the moment you use it to display anything other than your state-issued plate, you've crossed into felony territory. Here's the thing that gets people in trouble. They think they're being clever. Oh, I'll just flip it to my custom plate for car shows. Nope. Even having the capability to hide your real plate makes cops suspicious, and they're trained to spot these systems during traffic stops. Installing automatic license plate covers can actually get you arrested. You may be surprised to find out that even if you have this on your car, but you don't have it actuated, if the police somehow look underneath there, you could still get in trouble. These systems are often discovered during routine traffic stops when officers notice unusual mounting hardware or wiring. The motors and control mechanisms are dead giveaways. Federal agencies now track these devices as potential tools for criminal activity. Simply purchasing one can put you on a watch list for further investigation. And finally, the number one illegal accessory that most people don't even know is illegal. Accessory number 1, rolling coal modifications. Rolling coal involves modifying a diesel engine to deliberately emit large amounts of black or grey diesel exhaust. It's basically turning your truck into a mobile environmental disaster, and in most jurisdictions the practice is illegal, due to it violating clean air laws. Modifications typically cost from $200 to $5,000 and include the intentional removal of the particulate filter, installing smoke switches, large exhausts, and smokestacks. But here's the scary part. According to government estimates, the practice can increase nitrogen oxide emissions as much as 310 times, non-methane hydrocarbons 1,400 times, and carbon monoxide 120 times. The legal hammer is coming down hard. In 2023, companies in Idaho and California pleaded guilty in federal court to conspiracy to violate the Clean Air Act and agreed to fines of $1 million each. But the real kicker, in 2021, 6 bicyclists were run over by a 16-year-old who was rolling coal in Texas when he attempted to drive ahead of the group to engulf them in the exhaust. That's when coal rolling turned into aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Federal agents are now conducting undercover operations at truck meets and diesel performance shops to catch coal rolling modifications in progress. The fines can bankrupt you. Some states have created anonymous tip lines where citizens can report coal rolling vehicles. Photos and videos from smartphones are now being used as evidence in court proceedings. These illegal car accessories are bad, but you know what else is bad? Mechanics scamming you. Well, if you want to know how mechanics scam you without you knowing, click this video. Trust me, you will save a lot of money.